Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, family.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you loving?
I am well. How you loving?
Oh my God. Loving fabulously. Loving fabulously. Let's enjoy a deep breath. We are right at our perfect start, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 365 days straight. For our curriculum, 15 days in, only 350 to go. Congratulations, 15 days. You've completed 15 days. Congratulations, congratulations. Deep breath. Get the morning crud out. Deep breath. Deep breath, settling your nervous system, preparing for meditation. Remember, feeling is the prayer. Feeling is the prayer. Feeling is the prayer. How are you feeling? Tired? Time to dismiss tired with this next deep breath. Low energy? It is time to dismiss low energy with this next deep breath. Just blow it away. Aches, pains, dis-ease, discomfort, headaches, belly aches, any kind of gripe, time to dismiss it with this deep breath, simply by your intention and your breath. Now, open your hands and rest them upward, palms upward to receive. Our chant today is Om Shri Brizzy Namaha. We'll chant it together at your own pace. Remain relaxed. Deep breath. Straighten the spine. Crown toward the heavens. Shoulders dropped. If you are seated, feet flat on the floor. Your own cadence. And breathe. And we begin. Om Shri Brizzy Namaha. Om Shri Brizzy Namaha. Om Shri Brizzy Namaha. Om Shri Brizzy Namaha. Om Shrim 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 Brizzy Namaha. Breathe. Scan your body and the energetic field surrounding your body. See it filled with light body activated. See, know, it is completely clear, clean, pristine. Know that every day we cleanse our energy field as we cleanse our bodies, intentionally, consciously clearing away the debris and the dirt of the day. We began in the morning with our daily spiritual practice, cleansed, clear, intention set, ready for the day. Set your intention now for your day. It could be it is my intention to continue writing and working on the book in absolute joy and peace until I've completed the next chapter. It is my intention to give attention to my money world and invest in that crypto that I've been looking at. Today I take action in trust. It is my intention to go and enjoy quality time with good friends. We're going on a walk today together. Converse with no devices. We're really connecting. It is my intention to connect deeply in bliss. It is my intention today to have less thoughts and be in bliss. Is that your intention? Or is my intention to relax today? Because normally I do too much. It is my intention to sink into, settle into relaxation. Even as I'm in movement, I am still relaxed, calm, and peaceful. And to our great source that is all, in all, through all, everywhere present, Abund Washmea, as Christ called this presence, Abund, my Father, thy will be done. Ashe. With a clean, clear consciousness, free of thought, open hearts, open minds, clean, clear, energetic system, body still, calm, receptive, we now receive lesson 15 in A Course in Miracles. Slowly open your eyes if you desire, or you can keep them closed if you're in a space of listening. Open your eyes and follow along in the blue book from the Foundation for Inner Peace or online at acim.org. And it is a nonprofit organization, so if you get benefit and help from the course, please do, pardon me, support the work of the course in the world, translating A Course in Miracles into all the languages of all the peoples of this beautiful planet known as Gaia, our Earth Mother. We will now go to our Course in Miracles lesson 15. Now, if someone in the chat on YouTube, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Clubhouse, could someone in the chat on YouTube let me know if you see A Course in Miracles on the screen? Let me know if you see A Course in Miracles on the screen. I'm going to go to the chat and be sure that you can see it. I can see it. Excellent. We are good to go. A Course in Miracles, lesson 15. Let's say it together 3 times. My thoughts are images that I have made. Again, my thoughts are images that I have made. Again, my thoughts are images that I have made. It is because the thoughts you think, the thoughts you think, we're not really thinking. We're thinking that we're thinking. It is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. We see them as real literal images in our minds. So therefore we don't recognize that this is nothing. It's an illusion. You think them, and so you think you see them. This is a big mind game. This is how your seeing was made. This is the function you have given your body's eyes. It is not seeing, it is image making. We're not seeing things as they really are, as we have already found out in the course. We are image making. Image making takes the place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. You see, we make it up in our mind and then we see it in the world. Notice the order. The course says, you think them, which means it begins in the mind, and then you think you see it. This is not seeing. This is image making. This introductory idea to the process of image making, we're being introduced to a new idea. It's being introduced to us now. Image making, that you call seeing. We're doing image making, but we call it seeing. Will not have much meaning for you. This introductory idea to the process of image making that you call seeing will not have much meaning for you. You will begin to understand it when you have seen little edges of light around the same familiar objects which you see now. This is the beginning of real vision. We want to escape, we want to leave image making and made up illusions and begin to have real vision. You can be certain that real vision will come quickly when this has occurred. Real vision will come quickly. There's no need to wait. As we go along, you may have many light episodes. I love light episodes. So as we go along, the course is letting you know that you may have a lot of light episodes. They may take different forms, some of them quite unexpected. Do not be afraid of them. Some of us shut down our third eye because we were seeing things that were perplexing, maybe scary. We didn't know what was going on. We were having light episodes. Real light was piercing through. There are signs that you are opening your eyes at last. You are opening your eyes. As Neo said to Morpheus, Morpheus, when they got him out of the Matrix, he said, my eyes hurt. Why? Why do my eyes hurt, Morpheus? And Morpheus looked around at everybody else in the room and he looked at him and he said, you've never used them. It was like it was paining Morpheus to say that to Neo. You've never used them. I've never used my eyes and all these things I've seen. He was in the Matrix, eyes closed, and was seeing everything, was having a full experience. It was in his mind. When we have the light episodes, this is going to be a sign that we're finally opening our eyes at last. They will not persist because they merely symbolize true perfection and they are not related to knowledge. These exercises will not reveal knowledge to you, but they will prepare the way to it. So when you start having the light episodes and you start seeing the light around things and you start experiencing the light, this is showing you you're going the right way. And don't beat yourself up if you don't have light episodes and don't think too much about it. Let's let it happen. Here's our practice for today. Remember, this is experiential. You cannot simply show up to a video and get the full transformation that your soul has designed for you and ordained for you in bringing you here. Your soul brought you here so that you could do it. I'm doing it for me. You're doing it for you. We're doing it together. How beautiful and lovely is that? You see, we're stronger when we do it together. You cannot do it for me. I cannot do it for you. We are each doing it for ourselves, and we're choosing to do it together. That way we are more powerful. We're stronger in our intention because we're choosing to do it together. Like a forest of trees growing together. Like a constellation of stars hanging out together. Like the planets hanging around our sun, vibing together. You see, all of nature's together and in harmony. Let's do the same thing with our consciousness. In practicing the idea for today, repeat it first to yourself. First, in our practice periods, our experiential practice periods, we're first going to start with repeating the idea for today to ourselves. And what is that idea for the day? Here is the idea for the day. My thoughts are images that I have made. My thoughts are images that I have made. Once we stated, let's get the rest of our instructions. Follow the instructions. One thing the ego loves to do is have you make renovations on something that you don't understand. I'm making no renovations. I've read the course for years upon years upon years. I make no renovations. I simply do what is asked. Don't let the mind get in and say, well, just do this, or don't do this, or you don't do that, or that. We're letting the mind be still. There's a line in the course that says, peace to my thoughts, peace to my mind, let all my thoughts be still. And I use that for myself. Peace to my mind, let all my thoughts be still. In practicing the idea for today, repeat it first to yourself. My thoughts are images that I have made. And then apply it to whatever you see around you, using its name and letting your eyes rest on it as you say, this bottle of water is an image that I've made. That lipstick is an image that I have made. This phone is an image that I've made. This computer is an image that I've made. This light is an image that I've made. It is not necessary to include a large number of specific subjects for the application of today's idea. It's not necessary to overdo it. Relax. And simply have a realization, simply have awareness. This art is an image that I have made. You don't understand it. You don't have to understand it. Remember, in the introduction to the course, it said some of the ideas you may not like, some of the ideas you may actively resist, some of the ideas you may find quite startling, some you may not understand the ideas. You may not like the ideas. None of this matters. Simply do the exercise. That's all. We're just doing the exercise. We can't let the mind who made up the problem tell us about the solution. Remember, Albert Einstein said you can't solve the problem with the same level of mind that created the problem in the first place. We must go somewhere else to solve the problems of the mind that we're having. It is necessary, however, to continue to look at each subject while you repeat the idea to yourself. So continue to look at the thing as you say, this phone is an image I have made. This light is an image that I have made. The idea should be repeated quite slowly each time. Perhaps I went too fast. Let me go slower. Begin the exercise again with the thought of the day, the idea for the day. What is the idea for today? My thoughts are images that I have made. So we begin with, my thoughts are images that I have made. Then we're going to look around. This water bottle is an image that I have made. This chair is an image that I have made. This cord is an image that I have made. This table is an image that I have made. If you're judging it, this is what your mind is doing right now. No, it's not. I see it. It's not an image. Or this is crazy. This is totally crazy. Or why the hell am I doing this? Or where are we going with this? Or I don't know what any of this is about. This Course in Miracles makes no sense to me. It's okay if your mind is doing all that. Simply do the exercise. It is not necessary. Okay, paragraph 5. Although you will obviously not be able to apply the idea to very many things during the minute or so of practice that is recommended. Remember, we're doing practice for 1 minute, which is 60 seconds. So if you go slowly, you may not be able to include everything in the room because you're going slowly and you're saying it to yourself. You're having an acknowledgement. Something's happening in the mind. Something's changing. Although you will obviously not be able to apply the idea to very many things during the minute or so of practice that is recommended, try to make the selection as random as possible. Less than a minute will do for the practice periods if you begin to feel uneasy if you're doing it. And well, mind chatter is one thing, but if you feel kind of uncomfortable or uneasy, let it go. No need to fight with your mind. See, this is a very loving practice. This is a very simple practice. This is a very kind practice, a gentle practice. Chill. Don't beat yourself into submission. Do not have more than 3 application periods for today's idea unless you feel completely comfortable with it. And do not exceed 4. So if you are simply doing the practice, we will do 3 1-minute intervals throughout the day. You could do it at 12 noon, 4 p.m., 8 p.m., 3 minutes to become God. Wow, that's not a lot. We spent 8 hours at work. We spend hours on Netflix. Well, lately I haven't because I just haven't been able to do it, which is a beautiful thing. 3 minutes, beloved, 3 minutes. In each practice period, we have our instructions. Begin with the idea for the day, my thoughts or images that I have made. And then you take yourself around your environment slowly with one thing after other. You can do it in Starbucks, and of course, you can do it in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet. And of course, you can do it when you're lying in bed taking a nap. Before you close your eyes, you do your exercises for the day. If you feel uneasy, pause. If you feel really comfortable, do a 4th one. However, the idea can be applied as needed throughout the day also. So if there's something going on, you can apply the idea and say, my thoughts are images that I have made. This is an image that I have made. The lesson for today is complete. Lesson 15, A Course in Miracles. The floor is open.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This particular lesson really resonates with me. I oftentimes create images from my thoughts that are much worse than reality. And I recently, actually yesterday, I had went to see my mother-in-law for the first time, who is in hospice, and it gave me peace because I hadn't been sleeping. I had been so, my spirit just was not at ease. And when it was all because of the thoughts that I was having, like so many thoughts that were so horrific. And when I actually went to see her, I was like, oh, like all the images that I had made up in my mind was not reality. It was not what actually was going on. It was not what was happening. And I find myself doing that so often with so many things. So this particular lesson is a great reminder that the images that I make up in my head with my different crazy thoughts are often things that I let worry me or keep me up at night, and they really even shouldn't, because everything is always in divine order. Not complete.
And sending lots and lots and lots of love to your beautiful mother of your amazing healing partner. So sending her lots of love for her beautiful unfoldment in the soul, and peace, 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 the peace of God. Ashe. Who's next?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Queen Adasa.
How are you? Get to this lesson. My goodness. So, here I am thinking about my thoughts are images that I have made. So, my question to myself was, how so? How are these thoughts images that I have made? And the Course says, okay, well, I think these thoughts, and so what I think I see, and this is how I create the world I see. And then I realize, as the Course says, my eyes are not really seeing anything. They have just been given this function. And so my question now is, what have I been seeing? And the only thing that I've been seeing are images that I think. And so these things that I'm thinking of are my thoughts. And this is what's creating this whole illusion that I see, because I think I'm seeing it. So I know this sounds like really circular, but I had to sit with it and just go through what the words in the lesson were saying. So this helps me in meditation to open my third eye and stop thinking that what I see with these physical eyes is what is there, because they're images, they're not really real. And so the more I can engage my visioning in terms of what I have not seen and focus on that as what's real, and maybe I have a chance at this thing, because so far the thoughts that I have are images that I made, and they're not real. And so this is helping me to engage more of the higher level activities of spirituality, visioning, third eye engagement, which is something that I've had the opportunity to engage in during my Peru ritual. Really, here I am with shaman, and yes, the rituals connect us to the earth powerfully. However, the purpose and the function was to see and to be on these journeys where I could see my subconscious mind. And so I saw those things, and those things were informative in terms of what was going on with my life. So this lesson helps me to move beyond what I see and all these crazy thoughts I have, to really learn to meditate and unsee and use my mind's eye, my third eye, to see the world that I could have if these images that I've made up, I can somehow dissolve. Anyway, these are my thoughts, and I am complete.
And Queen Hadassah, which experience were you referring to? If you don't mind my asking, I was curious about, and with which shaman? Was it Maestro or Shaman Kush?
All of them.
Oh man, all the shamans. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Every single
all of them. That's true.
Was about going on a journey where, whether it's induced with ayahuasca or San Pedro, even if in Temescal, it's all about seeing, envisioning, and opening up that third eye. For me, that's what it was. And so that gave me access to see things differently, or see myself differently. And a lot of times, Rev, you mentioned on this platform, I don't do any, Black things, or don't invite me to these things. And I get it, because in one of those rituals, the mother showed me myself, and what I looked like is totally not what I look like today. And I said, "Is that me?" And she said, "Of course that's you." And I'm looking, and I'm cognizant in this journey, and I'm asking these questions, and I'm like, "That doesn't look like me." And she's like, "Yeah, that is you." So at that point, it's up to me to accept it or reject it. So I got to see myself, I don't know how many lifetimes ago, and what I looked like then is totally not what I look like right now. So that was one of the ways that I was able to see something different outside my thoughts, using what's available to us in terms of shamanism, and these rituals and these practices that I've gone through helped me to see things differently and understand that these thoughts are images. And so I'm seeing images when I'm just looking through these eyes, as opposed to when I'm in a journey and I'm seeing things, other images different. So that's what I'm talking about, and I am complete.
Now I understand that the things that we see in an ayahuasca experience are not the same things that we usually make up in our minds. They're not the same things at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It reminds me of an ayahuasca experience I had. A profound, well, they're all profound, that I'm still integrating. I still don't have the whole thing yet. Here's what happened. There was an archon. It looked like, those beings that you see in an ayahuasca journey. They're very symmetrically perfect. It's spectral and it's moving. It's not stagnant or still. It's not like a tiger walks up to you and just looks at you, right? Although that could happen too. I'm more talking about the spectral visions in an ayahuasca journey. And they're very perfect and they're geometric. This is how I experience them anyway. And they're full of color, orange, green. It's like Chinese New Year, Mardi Gras, and New Year's Eve in New York City with the ball dropping all together. And it is a lot. And there was this being, it was like, I don't know if you call it an archon, yet it was a being that she was using to teach me. And he was moving, and I'm saying he, it wasn't a he or she. It was moving, and every time it moved, it created more imagery. And what it was doing was it was laughing. It was ha 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 like that. And it was delighting in all the strange things that happen on the universe, in the whole world. So it would show like a pile of shit and a flower. It would show like I can still see it. It would show like a serial killer, like a murderer on death row, and a baby. And it would show like a big, huge hat and like a toad. And the message, it was so bizarre. It was one of the most bizarre things I'd ever experienced. And I was in it, and I was in it, and it was telling me that I called it the beautiful strangeness. That's what I called that vision, the beautiful strangeness, because it was telling me that it was all beautiful and that it was all in life and that I was judging it. I was like, no, I was literally fighting the vision while I was in the vision. I was like, I could hear my mind, not my real self. I could hear my mind say that the serial killer on death row was bad and the baby was good. And guess what? No, 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 no. This vision said, ha, 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 ha. It was holding everything in life. And it wasn't judging anything. And it just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. And because on deep levels, I would not accept what it was trying to show me, that's when I barfed. That's when you barf in ayahuasca experiences. In addition to perhaps barfing because your body is like throwing off the excess. So a lot of things are happening in an ayahuasca experience. I am telling you, I was with it and I was with it and I was with the vision. And there was part of me that was going along with the vision. And I was in the vision and I was watching the vision and the thing kept coming and it kept coming and it kept coming and it kept going. I couldn't stop it. I was just like, when you take ayahuasca, you're on the roller coaster. It's over when it's over. So she has you now. And it kept coming, it kept coming, it kept coming. And I could feel part of my mind. I could sense, not feel, I could sense like I was getting it. I was getting Non-judgment. Drop all your judgments. You think this is good and this is bad. It's not. It's all, life has it all. Life is holding it all, and it's delighting in it. And there was another level to it, that the more strange it is, it seemed like life loved it more or something. Not really loved it more, because life can't love you any more than it does. Everyone's loving life maximally. It was delighting in strangeness, like it was delighting in bizarreness. And it was delighting, and it was showing me bizarre things, and it was delighting, and it was like, ha, 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 ha. Like, look what I'm creating. And I'm telling you, my mind did not, it was like ayahuasca was breaking my mind in the most gentle way. My mind fought it. My mind was in the vision, and part of my mind was fighting the vision and saying, no, it wanted to stand on what it wanted. The serial killer is bad and the baby is good. The pile of shit is bad and the flower is beautiful. The pile of shit, ew, stinky. And the baby, oh, cute. It was breaking down all my meanings and judgments, just like the course is doing right now. Same lessons.
Exactly. Exactly my point. And I am so grateful to have those experiences where I could see something just peek into my subconscious and know that that was mine, and know that everything that I saw in it, I'm responsible for in such a way, because it's I accumulated. So a lot of times people ask me, well, can you go crazy if you do ayahuasca? And I'm like, how could you? I'm like, are you crazy? Because how could you go crazy looking at your own mind? You're not looking at anyone else's mind. You're looking at what's inside of you. So if what's inside of you is scary or crazy, or that is what the medicine helps you do, to break those things down in a way that's accelerated. That probably would have taken me 10 more, 15 more years. But the mother showed me some things that I was able to take action on. And again, this is what this course is about, and I love it, and I'm complete.
Beautiful. Let's address Gina's comment on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube and Facebook and Clubhouse, for being here every single morning in your unfoldment. What we must know is that this is not for me. I'm doing it for me. Y'all are doing it for you. You do it for you. When we come together, when you honor your commitment, when you invite someone into this room, when you show up every day, not only do you change your world, you change your health, you change your money, you change your spiritual trajectory, you change your adherence to your destiny and why you're here. You change your family, you change your manifestations, you change the universe, you change the whole planet when you do this every day. Know how powerful it is and commit yourself to doing it, and don't let the lower mind tell you anything. Gina, her comment on YouTube, it's challenging when other people see. By the way, first, I got to give a shout out to the super chats. Money in the vortex, money in the vortex, money in the vortex. Love you, Danielle. Thank you, thank you. Appreciation. It's challenging when other people see the same illusion, but I'm training my mind to go beyond that. My child is diagnosed with blank, blank, blank. I won't say it because I don't want to give it any power. And I'm shifting into seeing God instead. This is really a very interesting thing. Let's share something about diagnoses from white coats. I call them white coats. A doctor means it has no more waiting in heaven than you. A doctor has no more waiting in heaven than you. A doctor has no more waiting in the universe than you. A doctor, all practitioners, we love them, we appreciate them. If they're helpful, lovely. Their consciousness has no more weight than your consciousness. Yet everyone's equal. There's an equanimity. There's a principle of equanimity in the universe. Everyone is equal in power. They're not equal in manifestation on the planet. Hear what I'm saying. Everyone is equal in power, equal in access to divine source. Everyone is source in different forms, right? And not everyone will make the same of their access to this infinite power that we all are and have. Everyone's making something different of it, right? But life didn't cheat anybody, no matter what we may think. While they're all equal, so why is it that if a white coat says something, we take it as law? The word of a white coat is no different than your word. It doesn't have any more power or less power than your own word. And the word of a white coat cannot create in your life if your mind doesn't cooperate with it. Your mind takes on the suggestion and takes it on as a complete reality when these things are illusions. Now, I'll show you that this is an illusion. Do you notice that if this is how this is where diagnoses come from? Someone comes in and they say, "My arm hurts right here." Okay, the doctor works with it. They don't call it anything yet. Your arm is just hurting right here. Okay. Someone else comes in. "My arm is hurting right here." "Oh, really? What do you do?" "I work at the factory." "Oh, that other person worked at the factory. What do you do at the factory?" "Well, I do this all day, picking up things off the assembly line." Okay, they don't call it anything yet. Okay, the third person comes in. "My arm hurts right here." "Do you work at the factory?" "Yes." "Do you do this all day?" "Yes." "Okay." And so do you see they're gathering information? Okay, the fourth person, fifth person. Then the doctor goes to a conference and starts talking to other doctors there. "Yeah, do you have patients that come in that their arm hurts right here?" "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." "What should we call it?" Let's call it supinitis of the elbow. Let's call it super. They give it a name. That's where these diagnoses came up. They made the shit up because people kept presenting with the same thing. The simple answer would be, don't do that with your arm. That would be the simple. Don't do that with your arm. Your arm is telling you it doesn't like it. You stop doing it, that this goes away. "Yeah, but I have to do it because I have to feed my family." Okay, that's my thoughts are images I have made. So you just keep getting people that present with something. "I can't sit still. I'm too antsy." The kids in school can't sit still. The kids can't sit still. The kids can't sit still. The kids can't sit still. Okay, let's call it something. Let's call it attention deficit disorder. This is not real shit. Stop believing it. Who the fuck believes that? If you believe it, go ahead. You're free to believe anything you want to believe. But where do you draw the line? We got this disorder, that disorder, that disorder, that disorder, that disorder. And rather than getting to the root cause of it, why are the kids antsy? Because they don't want to sit down for 8 hours a day and look at a person up at the front drawing on a board, telling them some shit that they're not supposed to understand. And these are star children, and these are galactic souls coming to the planet. Of course, they're supposed to be antsy. They're not supposed to sit there and let themselves be brainwashed. And they already know that is souls, but we want to call it. And then they went further. Not just ADD, ADHD. I said it. This is made up shit. If you want to believe it. You're free to use your mind in any way you like. I don't recognize anything other than God. It's not real. That's what the Course is telling us. All these things that the doctors have told us are real. All these things, not even cancer, none of it's real. None of it's real. None of it's real. My thoughts are images that I've made, and other people are making images too. And we have shared illusions, and we have personal hells. The Course told us all this is not real. I think I'm seeing something. It's not real. And none of it gets to the root cause. "Oh, we have ADHD. Oh, you have ADHD. How the hell are you going to tell somebody what they have? And then, but don't worry, we have a pill for it. And all the kids that I've ever seen and all the parents that I've ever seen, and I've talked to a lot of people. This is anecdotal. This is not by any means a scientific experiment. I'm talking spiritual principle and law. I'm not talking physical. I'm not talking third dimension. You can solve it on the third dimension if you want to. On the third dimension, they have diagnoses and they have pills. And so now that they have ADD and, oh, if they're really active, we're going to throw in an H, they're hyperactive. How do you know what's hyperactive compared to what? Compared to being comatose? Do you even know what measurement are you using? Well, we're using the measurement of all the children that we want to brainwash when we bring them into school and the government schools, government funded schools, so we can teach them what we want them to be so they can be in the matrix and be a cog in the machine. They're not being still for what we're trying to do here. We're still gonna make it happen because let's get a pill. Okay, they get the pills, they give the pills to the kids. The kids, some of the kids are just dazed out and zoned out, but they're still, well, you would be still if you were in a coma. You're in a walking coma, you'd be still. I mean, people, we do not even recognize how far we have come from the truth. And we think it's normal. And oh yeah, my kid has that. Oh my God, that's horrible. Oh, son, I'm so sorry that you have that. And then you tell the kid he has it. I have that. Yeah, it's a great brainwashing. You ain't got shit. Your kids ain't got shit. Get to the root cause of it. What is going on here that is undesirable, that is not what I desire to experience? What is going on here? This child is angry. Okay, what's going on here? Get the child some help. Get to the real root cause. Stop listening to all these diagnoses. Get to the real root cause and change. Make a transformation. Anytime the body is doing something or the mind is doing something or presenting in a way that is unfavorable, it's a message. Something's not right. Something's off. I've lost my equilibrium. I have lost my connection to source. I've lost something is not right. If you don't deal with it on a spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical level, you're lost. But most people deal with these things only on the physical level. Deal with it on the physical level. Go to the doctor if you want to. I hope you're going above that as well. I love what Gina said. Gina said, this is what the doctor said, and this is what I'm choosing to see. I'm choosing to see God. I'm not saying that you're just going to be delusional. Oh, nothing's wrong. I'm just going to choose to see God, and I'm not going to do anything about it. That would be called a delusion. We're not talking about that. We're talking about approaching this spiritually, mentally, emotionally, with diet, with exercise, with sleep. We're talking about holistic, not just listening to the doctor, get a pill, and that's what it is. They don't know Jack. They call it a practice because they're practicing on you. Science is ever evolving. They're finding out new things every day. So what they know today is not what they're going to know tomorrow. I don't listen to white coats. I take what they say. Sounds interesting. It's just another perspective, but understand where they're coming from. White coats that are owned by the pharmaceutical companies have been bought, as well as hospital administrators. Do the research. Go find out for yourself. I dug deep into this rabbit hole during the 2020-2021 experience. And while it was a revelation, we found out a lot of things that we didn't know. We didn't know Bill Gates was paying the media. Bill Gates gave the media $300 and some odd million. We didn't know that Mark Zuckerberg was funding get out the vote campaigns all over these democratic countries, so democratic states, so they could try to upseat Trump. It's all a big, it doesn't matter what side you're on, it don't matter. People are up to shenanigans, and you won't know they're up to shenanigans until you go down the rabbit hole and you look at who owns what and what is this and what organization is that, what organization is that. You won't know until you do a deep dive. I do know one thing, that if you turn within and you ask your intuition, am I supposed to be drugging my kid every day? What was the answer? Maybe the answer is yes until you get a solution. I'm telling you, a pill is not the solution. It never can be. It can't be the solution. But I'm willing to tell you the truth that maybe few people would tell you. And beautiful, Black Lives Matter. Go for it, baby. Fucking go for it. Yes, they do. And everyone else's does too. I keep telling you, if you stick with a third dimension, well, you have a third dimensional life. You'll be very limited in the matrix. I'm a fifth dimensional being. I'm not a Black woman. I just look like one. And I love my Black heritage. And I love, 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 love all that I received from my ancestors. And I'm much more than a Black woman. Let's roll. Who's next? I think I'm going to ban somebody because they seemingly don't know what to do or say. So I'm going to ban somebody.
God morning, supreme blessing.
Yeah, morning, Clovette. How you loving?
How you loving?
Wonderful.
Yes, let's roll on with listen, killing these illusions. But it's so interesting. We're speaking about our health and well-being today, and the thoughts that our images have created. I remember about 10 years ago, I was going through a really stressful time, and I passed out at the train station. I just passed out. My body was like, no more. And I was rushed to the hospital, and the doctor told me that I passed out because I was dealing with some ovarian issues, and he suggested that I have a hysterectomy. And so I was like, no, he saw I didn't receive his suggestion. So he was like, well, I'm going to send you to a gynecologist who will confirm or deny what I am suggesting to you. So I was like, okay. So I went to the gynecologist. She suggested the same. I said, okay, interesting. Then a few days later, I went to a psychiatrist, and after about an hour of talking, he suggested that I had complex PTSD.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Please. Oh, my God. He said that, okay. Do you see that they're making things up and putting them on people?
It's so funny because, I was like, okay, so, because, my mom was like, just go. I was like, okay. So this was his suggestion because I had been through all these life experiences and not properly had dealt with all of them when they presented themselves, right? I just went into solution mode, solved them, and moved on, right? So I went home and I took both of their diagnoses. So I started with the doctor who told me, hey, I suggest for you to get hysterectomy. I said, okay, great. Now, ever since I was 12, my cycles used to be really, really bad. So I said, okay, I'm going to start with this one. I found Dahudi Ma'at Ra. You don't know Dahudi, he's one of Sabi's disciples, one of his students. He's in California. He used to have like 3 different herb stores in the greater Los Angeles area. So I called Dahudi Ma'at Ra up, and I said, yo, Dahudi, you don't know me. My name is Chloe. This is what's going on. Can you help me? He said, yeah, bring me the diagnosis. I went down there later on that day, and he said, okay, listen, your body is doing this. They are saying that you have to first have a mindset shift. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you have to reject what he said. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that.
Come on. You got to reject what they said. Hello. Like, first we got to clean your mind. Yes.
Right.
And let me say something. Gina, I'm going to add something to it because this is very powerful what Dahudi is saying. Here I see comments in the chat that says, start with your environment, start with your diet. No, beloved, start with your mind. That's what we're doing for 15 days. Fuck diet. Do you understand that a person with a right mind can eat any fucking thing and it won't affect them? Can you understand that when the mind is right, you can sit in any environment and it won't affect you? We're becoming masters here. We're not slaves and we're not victims to food or environment. We're masters. We're going to mastery. Forget everything you know. I just washed the slate clean on January 1st because everything I see is the past. No, you don't start with food. You don't start with the environment. You start with your mind. Gina, you're doing right. You're sending your daughter to a place where they have yoga, they have meditation. Get to the root cause of what's really going on instead of filling these kids with pills. Continue.
Yes. Now, here's what's so interesting as I look back on this experience. When I called Dahudi, I was living in a motel or hotel, whatever you want to call it, right? I was generating money day to day to be in this hotel because I was still trying to figure out what my next move was, right? When I called him, I didn't even have enough money to buy whatever it was that he suggested, right? But I called him, I said, okay, great, I'll be there. I got on the train. As I'm on the train, I used my thoughts to say, okay, whatever he suggests, I am going to have the resources for it. I don't know what he's going to suggest, but whatever it is, I will have the resources. I got there. He said, will you reject this in your mind? I said, it has been rejected. It is rejected. He said, okay, great. Then he went in his arsenal of tools, pulled out some things and was like, take these are the thoughts you need to be thinking throughout your day. If some thought that you are sick shall creep up in your mind, I said, okay, no problem, no issue. So as he's giving me these instructions, I get a notification on my phone. You have a deposit.
Hello, somebody. Come on. Talk about it. Come on.
I was wearing glasses at the time. I would have pulled out my book. You hear me?
It dimmed out for a second. Say that again.
Yeah, my alarm went off.
Okay.
So I looked at my phone again and I said, wait, what? I had a conversation a couple weeks prior to that, was waiting for this money, right? So the deposit happened. It was 3 times more than what I needed. And his suggestion was like maybe $300, right? So I said, sure, whipped out my credit card, paid for all the things that he suggested for me to take, right? So then I went home with my arsenal, my bag, my bag of herbs, because the Hootie Ma'ara is an herbologist. The man is phenomenal. He's been on Steve Harvey. He's helped the stars get rid of and reject all these diagnoses, right? So I went back to my motel and I said, okay, now we've answered that. Let's answer the psychiatrist. Okay, yes, what is true in what he said, I have jumped from one issue to the next issue without a concern for my emotional well-being. I immediately checked out of that hotel. I went to the Korean spa. If no one has ever been to a Korean spa,
girl, they let you live in there for $20, $25 a day. That Korean spa is bomb.com. You sit in the crystal room, then you sit in the salt room, then you sit in the freezer room, then you sit in the hot room, girl. You can stay in there all day. Just come to the front desk and pay them another $20, $25 every 24 hours.
Yes, it is usually like $20, $25 a day. But when I went, how God blessed me, I wound up meeting this lady and I blessed her with a thought, and she gave me like a stack of free spa cards. She just gave me a stack of them, like, thank you so much for being a blessing to me. Here's a stack of spa cards. So for like 2 weeks, I was just going using these cards. And then the staff took to me and was like, hey, would you like to be a monthly member? I was like, sure. $300. I was like, wait, $300?
Girl, you can live in there. People don't even know you can live in there. You can get your life at the same time. You can meditate all day. It's beautiful.
I lived in the Korean spa for 6 months. People thought I was crazy, but I lived in that spa for 6 months, and it was the most phenomenal experience ever. I was one of the only Black people. This was before Korean spas became popular.
Girl, they got everything in there. They have the restaurant in there. They have the TVs in there. They have Wi-Fi. They have the showers. They have a huge tea bag. You can soak in literally in a teacup. You can soak in the tea. They got jacuzzis. They got everything. You can sleep in all them rooms. They have everything. They got the big recliners. You can watch TV. You can do your work. They got the office space. They got the nail. Man, the Koreans have it hooked up. They have it hooked up.
They do. You don't have a computer, don't worry, but use ours, right? But the biggest thing that I got was education, because the Korean women, when they saw me coming every day, maybe after a week or so, they was like, oh my gosh, you're coming every day. And I was like, yes, and every time I came in, they celebrated me, Queen. Oh. And 2 of them was like, you know what, we're going to teach you what this Korean spa life is all about. And they started teaching me about yin yang energy. They started teaching me how to actually go in there and use the hot sauna, and whether to go in the eucalyptus room first or the hot sauna second or the cold. They started teaching me their system because they saw I was in there every single day and I was asking smart questions.
They can tell when you're really on it. And I want to say that my daughter is in the chat on YouTube with Lock Vibes. And do you remember, Gaia, when we went to the Korean spa on a boost retreat back when we were and Rosa was with us, I believe. Zaire was definitely with us. And we were all butterball naked in that part where the spa part is. You have to be butterball naked in that part. They got the sauna, they have the jacuzzi, they have the showers, they have that scrub. And there was this blue soap scrub in there that everybody loved. That was so wonderful. And I tell you one thing, you come out of there feeling like 50 million bucks. Continue.
Oh yeah, and 50 pounds and 50,000 pounds lighter, because energetically, here's what I noticed going to the spa. Is I always could tell who understood the environment they were walking in, right? Because when you walk through the threshold of the spa, if you pay for your pass and you walk through that threshold, I could always tell the people that, as soon as they walked through the threshold, they immediately brought their spirit to peace and aligned themselves with the environment. I was like, okay, they know what this is all about. But the people that walk through the threshold, the women they walk through, they still being loud, they got their shoes on, like not spa environment, right? They're talking the whole time there. They don't spend the time to be in a meditative space to get clarity, to get the things that they really, the environment provides and promotes, right? From going so much, I can always tell, as soon as I see them walk across the threshold, it's the perfect place to be when you feel like you want to create some newness around yourself and you want to let go of all these old thoughts, right? And so here I am now in my life, fast forward to today, I don't have those pains that I was dealing with. I healed myself. I used my thoughts and expert wisdom to heal myself. Because for me, having that diagnosis be a reality was unacceptable. It was unacceptable. And that's what I feel like we have to get to a place collectively where it's unacceptable and we come together, because Duhuti, Ma'at, Ra, and myself, we came together to create me having a healed, whole mind, body, and soul. Queen, I feel like yesterday, I think my phone cut out yesterday, but I feel like yesterday and today is such a Genesis chapter 1, verse 2 moment where God hovered over the void.
Woo!
One of my favorite scriptures, where God hovered over the void. You know, a lot of times we don't understand that the images we see is because we use our thoughts to hover over a particular situation and generated some thoughts and strung them together to create what is it that we see, right? It's like, no, you are God. Hover over yourself, hover over your situation. That's what I'm doing. Recently, I had a conversation with one of my good LinkedIn friends. I told him, you know, I feel like I'm operating in an outdated system of who I am. I am catching up with who I am, the experiences that I have, and the expertise that I am walking with my God self. And he has a magazine. He said, well, you know what? Since you want a new vision of who you are, I am going to interview you. And he has a global magazine. He said, we're going to take this globally. You're going to transform yourself on a global stage. I said, oh my gosh, okay, great. So he said, listen, write down what you want to be said about you. Who are you?
Oh.
Now, Queen, I meditated for a week on this question. Who am I? Who am I presenting myself to be? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to help? Who do I want to transform? What does my heart say about the matter? And when I finished writing, Valerie, my eyes hurt, just like Neo said. My eyes hurt.
My eyes hurt because we've never seen anything. Morpheus looked at him like, poor thing. He looked around at the people in the room. He said, you've never used them. Neo was like, I've never used my eyes and all the things that I've seen. No, my thoughts are images that I have made. They're images in your head. Huh.
Yes. And I said, okay. And I had to get up. I had to get up from my computer, walk away, turn on my music, do a little dance, then walk back to the computer. It was a couple of times like, wait, let me get out of my environment. I left my house, went to my community office, did some more writing there until it was complete. And when it was complete, I said, well, look at you on the screen. This is amazing. And I got my bell, because you know, Valerie, you taught us a long time ago to get our bells.
Woo! I love bells. Remember that? Ding, 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 ding. Angels love bells. Get your bells. I had a sister who used to wear bells. She used to wear bells around her. So you just hear the bells coming and it wards off evil spirits. And some people say, and I do believe that bells take you to a higher vibration and raise the vibration around through sound. It's quantum physics. It's not juju or just like hocus pocus. Voila, I wore a bell and I'm perfect now. It's not that. It has true quantum meaning and true proof in quantum physics for people that like proof, that don't just believe things. And yet, in my experience with bells, has been off the charts. I do want to say one thing too, Clovette, before you continue. I have a beautiful day before me. I am going to be getting ready for Ascension. Ascension, if you are in Ascension, you know that we have an urgent, highly important Zoom, live Zoom today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It will be recorded. You received a text last night, so you have the connection info. I will meet you at 11. I have an appointment coming up before then at 9. I'm going to go prepare for that appointment and I am going to share the card for the day with the love tubers and everyone on video in both the YouTube channel on Valerie Love. Subscribe, follow, engage, and Christian Witches channel. Subscribe, follow, engage, and the Facebook Reverend Valerie Love Facebook fan page. Follow and engage. Remember, we don't want millions of followers around here. We desire billions of engagers. We're all engaged. The card for today is a major arcana card. It is the Justice card. Key number 11, the Justice card. And I also want to say to all of our, before I leave, and I'm going to turn it over to our mods in the clubhouse room to complete our discussion with our peeps that are on stage and give our galactic signature for the day. So if you're not on Clubhouse, you can get the Clubhouse link under this vid, YouTube and Facebook. And remember, if you're on Clubhouse, tap the green house at the top, Christian Witches. Join the club, follow the club so you get notified when we're going live on our spiritual practice. I also want to say to all the people that commented in the chat this morning on YouTube and Facebook, or the video portion of our morning daily spiritual practice, I love you. I love your engagement. Remember, family, we are not saying, I want to clarify, we are not saying that diet doesn't matter. We're not saying that pills don't matter. Don't take pills. We're not saying don't go to doctors. We're not saying environment doesn't matter. We're not saying any of that. We're saying begin with the mind. That's the starting point. That's where the course began us. Day one, it began us with our mind. For 15 days, we've been on our mind. We haven't been on food yet. We haven't been on environment yet. We haven't been on pills yet. We haven't been on doctors yet. Begin within, begin within, begin within, go within. There's something off in here. Then you can see clearly and receive your guidance. Remember, a peaceful mind cannot hear its guidance. So all the things that we have started with and all the things that were our coping and all the ways that we used to do things, we don't do it anymore. We threw it all out in the first 15 days. I don't know nothing. I don't know what anything is for. I'm not bringing anything to this. My thoughts and images I have made, this is all made up. This is all illusions. These pills are illusions. Everything's illusion. How do we know what junk food is? We don't. We made it up. We gave it meaning. Oh my God, this junk food is so bad. It has the power to do this, that, and the other. Junk food don't have no power. You have the power. Come home first to your divine power. That's first. Then you'll know what to do. You'll know what to eat. Oh, I need to eat an avocado rather than a Twinkie. Then you'll know, perhaps. You'll know what to do because divine source will lead you on what to do. It'll lead you on what to do for your child. It'll lead you on what to do for yourself. It will lead you. And then you take the actions. If the action is go to an acupuncturist, you go. If the action is go to a Chinese herbalist doctor, you go. If the action is go to Tahuti and get some herbs, you do that. And you're doing it holistically. But please don't think that you're going to start with anything other than here. Here is the starting point. Here. Consciousness. Is it a yes for everyone? Is it a yes? Is it a yes for everyone? Yes, yes, yes.
It's a yes.
It's a yes.
And
All
I
right.
choked on the avocado that I was shoving in my mouth, and you were like, eat an avocado instead of Twinkie. I'm like, you always know what I'm doing. That's weird.
That's because we're connected and we can feel it. Smash up the likes. Absolutely share the videos. YouTube, I love you. Wow. Everybody send love on Clubhouse too. Love to YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to bow out on YouTube, Facebook, and Clubhouse. The mods got it on Clubhouse for the discussion, for the rest of the discussion, and our galactic signature for the day. Love you. Everybody tell I love too.
Wait, what's the card? What's the card?
Oh, the card is the Justice card. Key number 11. Justice.
Justice, okay.
All right. I love you. Peace.
Love you.
Peace. Love you all.